for we, make you give we now. Because in the morning we dey ask you, mama, wetin you bring for we, make you give we now. Because in the morning but where you left here, where you go, mama, angry they catch we not get nothing for it. Now that make where we see you come, we all don't gladly we dey tell you cabo. We see you come, we all don't gladly we dey tell you cabo. Cabo, 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 cabo. Anytime we see you, where you go you come, we must tell you cabo. fear. Where you go, mama? And we dey get free, we not get nothing for it. Now that make where we see you come, we all don't gladly we dey tell you cabo.
Okay, good evening, good evening, good evening. Kushe Kabo, me family them, me people them. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Diaspora Voices SL. Definitely welcome to another edition of Diaspora Voices show. As soon as I know, there's something missing here because obviously, not to me can start the program. The voice of the program and the face of the program is no other person. No other person but DJ Ish. But unfortunately, DJ Ish not there with me today as because he's feeling under the weather. So, ladies and gentlemen, una get for stick with me because I'm not the only produce the show. I get for be the presenter as well on the show as because we're not used to the fact that say in the last few months or the many months that's gone by, my voice is actually very, very limited on air with what they say or do. So I want to say obviously, unfortunately, DJ she's not very well the last few days, and we wish him a very speedy recovery, and we hope say it will get well soon. But all the same, the two energy they come inside one body, so that's all me. So obviously it's me, myself, and I. My name is DJ Little, the Moses for Salon ENT, and yes, and I'm the presenter, the producer, the engineer today on my own. But DJ is good in at the background, they monitor the messages, the communicados, the way they go on and everything. But also we get a very, very significant program tonight. So if you didn't watch the program, as we always say, do the honorable thing, share the program, and let Diaspora Voices, as we all know, be the voice of many. You understand? So the voice of many. So una pass on the message. Say Diaspora Voices show is live on tonight. And whilst we're here as well today, there's so many things that's going on, especially in the UK. I can let for the touch base and give una one of the key thing that really happened today, obviously, is the fact that we don't know whether we're in winter or whether we don't know whether we're in springtime. As this is winter month, because November is supposed to be very, very cold, but it's a little bit mild. People then still they wear one green shirt, one green clothes, and we really want to understand waiting they go on. But if you get a deep sense of waiting they go on, you get an understanding of the globe, which you go no say now global warming, the effects of global warming and they take place. Just because England or warm no means say global warming no they affect this country. It is because for many of us who don't live in this country for X amount of years, around about November 10, we double up on we close them. Unfortunately, we're not. And if we come up from the UK, we go to the other side of the pond. We in our own country, we own Mama Salon. Everybody saw overnight waiting unfold, the tragic event will unfold on the last few days ago with this really something that was really sad, you know, the fire incident now Wellington, and losing up to 99 lives and more fatalities, them over 100 plus fatalities, them we don't take place. So first of all, on behalf of Diaspora Voices, the management, the staff, the team that we work with Diaspora Voices, and anybody we connected, basically, we heart go out to all the loved ones, them first of all we affected, and we really we deal with Tuna, we stand with Tuna in solidarity, in grief, in pain, in everything. But more importantly, with prayers and with thoughts, they go to the victims, them, the deceased, the survivors, and all of them people that we sadly lost their lives, and the one that we also are severely affected and by this tragic event. And year in, year out, Sierra Leone seems to encounter some sort of fatality. I don't have the answers. I'm just saying what's in a fact. So if I didn't get the answer, I will tell you waiting at the answer, but I don't have the answers. But what we need to do as Sierra Leoneans is come together, pray together, grieve together, And remember the innocent people that we don't lost their life, because life for them family is never going to be the same. Nobody wants to lose their family member, but to even lose a family member in such a traumatic and a tragic state way, it affects everybody and it affects every Sierra Leonean. So if you're a Sierra Leonean and or friends of Sierra Leone and you're affected by this, know that we stand with you in solidarity, in pain, in grief, and in tears. We share all together. So may the deceased, all their souls, rest in perfect peace. And then the victims, then we survive, may they get proper cure, and so that we are able for actually look after them. So anybody we want for share their thoughts, please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. But that said, that's what's happened in the last few days in Sierra Leone. And but tonight is special. Tonight is really, really special because we've got a wonderful guest at the program, and somebody we obviously has been a friend to me for a very, very long time, and somebody we I don't long for getting at this platform, at Diaspora Voices, so for a very, very, very long time. But like I said, and there is a new saying we I don't embrace. The saying goes like this: delay is not denial. So just because it's delayed, it doesn't mean it's denial. So if somebody said to you, we go do something later, it doesn't mean they've never said to you, no, we're not going to do it. You understand? So it's not denial. Or if you want to do something in life, if you delay and then you get to do it later, it's not denial. So I kind of like that catchphrase when I first bump into it just a few days ago. Actually, I don't hear but I kind of, it really registered to me. So delay is not denial. I've been able to finally get hold of this wonderful person. Now we key guest tonight. Now Diaspora Voices, and sorry, Ish, really, I don't know. I don't care you go to Palfa, I don't care you go to Mami Adama, I don't care you go not, but I really wanted to interview this person. So coincidentally, you falling sick kind of worked out for me very, very nicely. Could you imagine? DJ Little they celebrate in brother and sick one just for interview guests. That's not nice. People that they can call Ish now. You see, DJ Little happy way, you know well. Now lie, not to that, not the case. But it kind of worked out because the guests that we in the program tonight, I wanted to be the person to lead on it. So if Ish was here, I would have still led on it. But it brings me to say, I will bring the person herself on screen, and then when I add her on the screen, then I will do a little bit of an intro, because I don't think I can do justice to her, and then I'll let her do her own intro, because I think say if I try to do that, I'll probably fall short, and then in that case she'll probably change her mind and say, you know, it's in low, continue this interview later. So I best not do that. So what I'm going to do is add her onto the screen and say if I can just ask you to unmute your mic, please, and say good evening and welcome to Hanan Alami, and welcome to Diaspora Voices. Diaspora Voices has been running for nearly 7 years, and finally, I think 7 years, but finally, delay is not denial. You're here. And instead of me doing the introduction to you, I will touch base on that. I'll rather you come in and then you say good evening and welcome to his salon people, them now Diaspora Voices family. So the platform.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you very much for having me. DJ Little, the whole of the Diaspora team, I am very pleased to be here. I am glad you finally decided to have me. And thank you very much. I am really pleased to be here and I can't wait.
Oh, brilliant.
I hope that DJ Ish gets better. I wish him a speedy recovery and I hope he's listening.
Yeah, he's listening, right? All my tie not going for come stay tomorrow morning 9 o'clock. Now they lose me tie. Suddenly by 10 o'clock you find out that all his pains have gone. How are you anyway? How are you?
I am well. I am sad. As you know, I'm currently in Freetown. There's a lot of sadness in Freetown. We're heartbroken. We're upset. We're frustrated. All of those feelings and emotions. It's sad. The tragedy that happened 2 days ago on Friday evening was very sad. We're very sad. But we that are here have to give thanks. And we remember the whole of Sierra Leone is grieved, not just the people who have lost their loved ones. Accidents do happen. Prevention is better than cure, and so on and so forth. It is very sad, very, very sad.
Indeed.
But I am good, thank you.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you touched on it. What I was going to ask is, how is the atmosphere in Ceylon and especially in Freetown? That you've kind of
It's
touched on.
not good.
Good.
It's not good.
Because Freetown
It's
is a
not
very
good.
vibrant city where there's energy, everybody hustle and bustle, but people still find ways to be uplifted. I'm sure the last few days that would have melted away.
Definitely. I mean, it's the conversation of the town. Everybody's talking about the senseless death. Everybody's asking questions that we don't seem to have the answers to. Process, procedures, what happened, what should have happened, health and safety, accountability. I mean, we can go on and on. So it's the conversation of Freetown. And I think, as you know, it's such a small place that we're all affected because we all know somebody who has lost somebody, or a couple of people, or a friend of a friend and a friend of a friend. It is very sad. It's very sad here.
Indeed, indeed. I stand with you and I agree with you, and our hearts goes out to all the victims and the survivors as well, and their families as well. So I've just got a text from somebody that has just come through. He said, DJ Little, who's your guest? Who's your guest? So I don't think I made any formal introduction because I am reluctant to do such thing because I don't want to do injustice. So because I'm looking at the text now. So DJ Little, who's your guest? So may I please use this opportunity to ask you, who is Hanan Alami? Just tell us about yourself briefly.
So Hanan Alami is a native Sierra Leonean. I have lived in the United Kingdom for a very, very long time. I have returned back to Sierra Leone. It is one of my desires to come back home, to help, to support the education system, because I have a lot of experience in my field. The American call us cosmetologist. In the UK, we call it hair and beauty. I have taught all ages in the UK. I have a vast experience in education. I am a mentor, I am a counselor, and I am passionate about the youth, but not just the youth. I think I want to extend that to the growth. How can we, those of us that have had the opportunity and the privilege of going away and learning, because we've learned so much, how can we come back to Freetown, to Sierra Leone, and help to build? Because indeed, we have to be a part of the building process, because we have vast experiences that can be used on the ground if we're given the opportunity. And indeed, if we want to take the challenge, some people call it opportunity, some people call it challenge. It's not easy. It is a challenge. You're called to serve. So I'm not going to sit here and make it sound like if I say it's easy. It's not easy being on the ground, but we have to do it. And luckily, I was one of the people who had the opportunity, and I've taken the opportunity, and I'm loving every day. Every day I am here, I am loving the challenge.
It's interesting that you said you use the word opportunities, which we know we put as one of the. Say, let's talk about opportunities, because you felt, and you sort of tied it in with the challenges, because for every opportunities it poses different challenges as well. And but the first question I'm going to ask you is, why return to Sierra Leone, and why did you think you have to go back and answer to the call to serve in Sierra Leone with your vast array of experience, having to taught at higher levels and at higher level education in the UK, where you've lived in, and you could be very happy stay here count your pensions and your pennies and enjoy life, so to speak. But why do you think you needed to answer to the call to serve and return to Sierra Leone?
Well, for one, it's a calling. For two, it's love. For three, it's to improve people's lives. I mean, we can do so much. I have done it all in the UK. I actually feel that I got to a stage in life where I needed to come back and serve. Yes, I could be in the UK. Yes, I will be having a big salary and all of that. But actually, money is not everything. If you're called to serve, you will quickly understand that when you're called to serve, it is a calling, and we have to come and build home. Because what good, for myself, my question is, what good is it if we all go away, get all this vast experience, and we just stay where we are? After all, if we come back and we work in partnership with the people here in Freetown, we would build a better Sierra Leone. And I just want to say that Sierra Leone needs building, and the citizens, we are the people who have to do this. The work that is here that needs to be done is vast. Boku tinde na ya for do. Nobody will tell me say you not get nothing we will come for can do. I'm not going to make it sound too pretty because there are challenges, but equally we have to come back home so that we can develop Sierra Leone, because Sierra Leone must grow. I mean, I have traveled extensively around the world. I've been to Bali, I've been to America, I've been to so many places. But actually, Sierra Leone is one of the most beautiful places that I've ever been to. And if we build Sierra Leone, it is a paradise on earth. But it needs a lot of work. And who's going to do it if we don't come to do it? Hence the question.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. And it's interesting hearing the passion coming out from you, and then yet you seem to, you're not sugarcoating it, so to speak. You're just telling it, don't be fool, don't kid yourself. There are challenges. We are going to address those challenges later in the field which you are here to serve. But I'm keen to get us started, Hanan, with obviously you did not only go to Sierra Leone to serve, but you're also there because you've also embarked on a new role and a new title. Do you want to tell us about it? Because is that where the motivation first came, or you thought, you know what, let me just go and then do a feasibility check and see what's there for me? Or while you were here, you were talent spotted and say, we need this woman, we want her now, let come. Let left that university teaching, let come over, let can head with organization. Tell us about it.
So what it is, currently I am the new countries director for an organization that has been in Sierra Leone for 29 years. It was formed by a lady who is currently in the States, and I am currently working with her daughter, who is the CEO. The name of the academy is Afro-American Institute of Cosmetology. That is the study of hair, skin, and nails. No, I actually was here in Freetown when we had the last lockdown, and I was looking for what I could do because I always knew that I wanted to do something here. And I was lucky enough to be introduced to the lady, the CEO, whom really we had an almost instant mutual respect for the field, and we had good passion. The vibe was really good. And while I was here, my thoughts were perhaps I should open my own academy. So I had gone through all of those thoughts. But when I met this lady, I thought, actually, this organization has been going on for 29 years and they have trained thousands of people. This is my field. So why do I want to go and start something else? Why don't I work with an existing house that is already here? So collaboration, working in partnership, coming in, already establishing that, yes, there is a business or there is a need in your sector. So I think it's applicable if you're a nurse, whatever field you're in, you come in and you look for a business or an organization that is already working. It's functional. Of course, there are challenges, like I've said. So for me, it was the perfect opportunity to get involved, to get on board, to share my skills and to expand on an already growing business. So I took the opportunity to do that. And I'm glad that I did.
Can I just hold you back if I because it's interesting how the conversation is unfolding, because on Diaspora Voices we don't like to use the word interview, we like to have conversation. You when you went back, as you said, during your reviewing and looking at what you need to do, and you bumped into this lady, and then you thought, hang on a minute, you are somebody that's successful within your rights, and then you own your own business, and you could have set up store and then thought, let me get started. And okay, this is going to be controversial now, but I'm going to say Stellanians are not known for collaborative work, especially if you are strong in your own respect, in your own field, which you could independently, like, for example, me and DJ, I've got so many people that the way I don't develop as DJ, but a lot of them have cut strings and then I've gone off to do their own things. I've got a few that stayed. Why did you think it was important for you to collaborate with somebody else as opposed to, I can do this or I can do it better? Why did you not have that kind of attitude, so to speak? Why did you? Did you get the question?
Yes, I did. Well, for one, collaboration works. It spares you the experiences that are bad that you don't want to go through. Partnership works. I mean, having lived abroad for 10 years, for example, you've kind of lost touch of what it was like in Sierra Leone, and perhaps, not even perhaps, definitely how it was 10 years ago. It's not how it is now. So if we could bang heads together and work for a common goal, for our passion, actually we grow. The reason why the Western world, we see a lot of partnership is because when you partner, you have somebody else that you can rely on. You have somebody else that you can discuss. You have somebody that understands what the challenges are. If we all came over and we all went and start off our own, one, we're not talking to each other. Two, as somebody who is returning for even a minimum of 5 years, you're out of sync. And there's a lot of examples in Sierra Leone where people have come here, they've worked hard abroad, come with their money, gone into businesses that they think they know, but they don't understand the ethos, the dynamic of how it works here. So partnership also means that we're talking to each other. Partnership means if there's more of us, if there's me and you, we have more people that would listen to me and you than more people that would listen to just me. So partnership works.
I totally agree. Thank you for that. Thank you for that response, Hanan. So let's get to engage with you now, because I'm keen to discuss your role as the country director of Afromeric and the vision that you're going to, or you've already implemented or starting to put together within the Afromeric and business itself or industry itself. I want to talk to you about such things as education, the training. You talked earlier on about youth empowerment, literacy, numeracy, and so many other things I want to get to squeeze in within the next 45 minutes with you. First of all, when you got in there and you got the role as the country director, what's your vision? What's your number 1, 2, 3? Say, this is my vision. This is what I want to do with Afromeric. Because you stated it yourself. In their own rights, they were successful for the best part of nearly 3 decades. And what would you bring in as the new country director to amplify that success?
Okay, so I bring in a different way, because there's teaching and there's teaching. Even in the United Kingdom, the way we teach, or the way we used to teach and the way we're teaching now has changed. We need to use more digitalized ways of teaching. We do not teach like I was taught. It's the teacher and the teacher and the teacher. We're teaching now. Now, actually, our lessons are student-led. They should be. So when I go into a lesson, I do not go and stand there and tell the student everything that I know. I ask the student to tell me what they know. So you get the student to do the thinking and the learning, because in cognitive learning, we know a lot of things. We just haven't put it all together. Yeah. So teaching styles have changed, and they've changed a lot. That's something that I've brought into the institute. Giving the students the voice, letting the student know that they can do so much better, even in Sierra Leone. I want our students to compete within Africa and to compete within the international waters. Literacy and numeracy is a very big challenge here in Sierra Leone, because a lot of our students perhaps may not have completed primary education, some secondary, and a lot of them haven't been to college. So it's bringing in ways of teaching, of embedding literacy and numeracy, where we teach in a way that it is broken down to even the local language, so that the student grasp what it is. A lot of people think if you're in we call it the beauty industry or the hair industry, that you don't need theory. It is the biggest lie, because we need theory. In order for you to do practical, you need theory. The theory is, why do you do what you do? The practical is how to do it.
I see.
And this industry is so important because we've impacted all areas of life. Your shampoo, your conditioner, your shower gel, your hair grease, your brush that you brush your hair, we're all in it. Your nails, men, manicures, pedicures, I mean, you name it. You name it.
Sounds interesting. I was going to say, if I was a parent and then my daughter wants to go into hairdressing, and I'm in Sierra Leone, for example, the list of my worry, and if I've actually accepted, first of all, it will be a case of where the parent has to accept, okay, now this me picking one do. Then once I've got through that acceptance, the list or the most important thing that will be of top of my agenda would be for Lego school, Lego learn maths and English. No, let's just go down to Anti-Safi, where they plant, they go to a saloon, they go, you understand it? The basic math. How can you get these people to be convinced that, as you said, key to the development process is about having maths and English, the literacy? They need to be literate enough to be able to get into the field of their passion and develop a career and make earnings out of it.
Well, for one, in my subject area, you need maths and English. Huh? You need for calculate your color, you need for calculate your chemical, you need for know how much water you use and pass in here, you need for know how much you they buy, you need for know how much you they charge, you need for know. So literacy and numeracy is basic. You in any field, you need literacy and you need for be able to read, you need for be able to write, you need for be able to sound words. It's basic. And no matter what field you're in, you need literacy and numeracy. However, back in the days, even when I was a teenager, it was looked down on, it was frowned on. Now you're addressing you want to do. Well, actually, if we look in the world around, do you know how many multimillionaires we have that are hairdressers? Hairdressing or the cosmetology industry is a multi-billion industry. It shouldn't be frowned at or looked down on. I'll give you a quick example. I myself have a 19-year-old that is doing medicine. She's doing biomedicine. But guess what? She does her friend's hair on the side and makes very good money. So it doesn't matter. It is a skill that you learn for life. If you have your daughter that wants to become a pilot, I would say well and good. But if she has a passion and is sabi for plants, now put her more for. You know how much would they charge for plants in Barcelona, London? Minimum 50 pong. Even in Sierra Leone, do you see? It's a side. It's something that would generate. It's another stream of income, and it should be looked down on. Look at all these celebrities. Look at the wigs that they're wearing. Look at the length of their hair. Look at the condition. I mean, need I say more? Look at makeup. Look at Beyonce. So it's not a field that should be looked down on because it is a multi-billion business.
Wow, it's indeed, and I do agree with you. It's the good thing is for some of us, I count my pennies, and you can see I can't do mine. So, and I do know, and now in London, the barbers are asking for £15 minimum, £20 just for a standard haircut. I don't have any facial hair. So even to get the goat out is an extra £3 on top to get the goats out. So it's really tough for those of us. So it's really, really hard for people like us, but it's incredible to hear. I'm keen to discuss with you, Hanan, really in areas of how this is now going to be implemented, because it's important having all of these ideas. And how are you planning on rolling it out, and what are you doing in Afro-America in terms of have you implemented a class grade system? Can you elaborate on that, please?
Yes, so we already started. We have our first cohort, our first group of learners that started in September. Obviously, prior we had issue with COVID, but we're up and running now. So we're delivering the diploma. The diploma course that we're delivering here is a full package. It's a hair diploma course. Upon completion of that course, it will take you a year. We train for 6 months. We send the students to work placement where they go and get industry experience. And then they come back and they do their final exams and they get their diploma. That is a full program. With that, you'll be able to sort work. So you become a qualified hairdresser. Along with that, we're also doing makeup courses where while you're doing your hairdressing package, you're doing a makeup package. In as much as we're doing that, we're also doing literacy and numeracy, because every lesson, literacy has to be embedded so that you get an understanding of the assessment. So we've already started work. And I must say that the response that we've had so far has been very, very good.
Good. And I'm just briefly on that. What's the average stage? Is it like, are you running like a school term, or is it a 6 monthly term, or a year's term? What's the average before they move on to the next phase?
It's a year. It's a year.
Okay.
It's a year. And that includes work experience and exam.
Wow, nice. And what's your age of entry for one to get into? So again, I'll use my daughter's scenario. Say if I want my daughter to enroll into a Afro-American course, what age of entry?
We're looking at teenagers. So I would say about 16. We're looking at about 16 plus. Yeah. There is no age limit, equal opportunity. There's no age limit. Anyone can come and join, male, female, anyone can join. There's no age. We want students that have a passion. We want students that wants to do the qualification, because that's very important.
Yeah. Finally, on that, if somebody is like, for example, they've run a successful localized hairdressing, i.e., maybe they may get their own saloon within the plant, 1 or 2 heads, or a barber that's been running a little bit and then wants to implement a little bit more complexity. Are you open to those, or are you just looking for pure amateurs that you're going to train and develop?
Not at all. Not at all. We have master classes that we're going to run. We have master classes for things like cutting, coloring. So all the skills that are lacking, we have master classes for them that we would run. People who are already in the salons that want to do their CPD, continuous professional development, yes, they can come. People that already have experience and they're already in the field, we're not going to put you on a 1-year program, but we would embed your literacy and your numeracy, and wherever the skills is lacking, we will pick it up. Obviously, you will be able to complete quicker or sooner than somebody who hasn't got any experience. So we're open to all.
Fantastic. And then there will be a sort of certificate of achievement, graduation. What's the qualification?
Absolutely. At the end, all of our students will have a graduation ceremony where our students are actually registered with the government. So we give you an authentic Afro-American certificate, which is registered. So it's not just a certificate, it is recognized and registered. I myself am an internal verifier, which means that I put my name onto the certificate so that you have actually achieved the qualification before you're given.
Okay. How does this compare to some of our diasporans that go in and offer 2 weeks courses and I'm just trying to put you under pressure there, because I know there was a lot of diasporans hairstylists, beauty makeup, and they come from all over the diaspora in UK, America. They go on a holiday for 2 weeks. Then they say, okay, they go on a class for dressing and then makeup, and then they put the kids. They take money off them, obviously, and then they leave them be. And then how does Afro-American compare to those sorts of people?
Well, for the people who know the name Afro-American, it stands in a class of its own. We have trained almost all of the hairdressers in Sierra Leone started at Afro-American. It is a brand. It is the brand. Building up onto that, we're going for more excellence. We're going for better. We're going for improvement. Now, in this field, we have different type of qualification. We have what you call an award certificate, see. We have what you called an introduction, Fule. We have the diploma, yeah. We have master classes. So the people who come in and do their little 2 weeks, their little 4 weeks, usually the people here need to understand the title of the program. If now 2 weeks you they go, to your dresser. If now 4 weeks, to your dresser or makeup artist or nail technician, we're offering you a diploma. So if you look at the definition for time's sake, just have a look at what we offer. We offer you a diploma. It's a full diploma, and we're offering you 10 units. We're not a play with Andy. We don't give away our qualification, because when you leave and you go to a salon or you go up your own shop, I want you to say that you trained at Afro-American. That sounds by itself, and it stands by itself. I'll give you a quick example. There's a lot of ladies or people in the salon who cannot cut hair. They cannot cut because a lot of the programs are not cutting. Cutting not to do it now 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 week, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. I challenge you, because you have to know your angles. You have to understand the cuts. It takes practice. So we're giving you the full package. So that's what we're saying, even to people who were qualified before by other schools, do come back. We are willing and we're ready to train you so that you can upscale. It's not just good for Afro-American, because in my heart, it's just not good for us. It's good for Afro-American. It's good for Sierra Leone. It's good for the students to compete. It's good for the places like Ghana and Nigeria. They're doing hair. They're moving digitally, skills wise. Yeah. So we want to be able to compete. We want to be able to compete. And it's nice when a student say, I was trained by this institute and I'm proud and I'm happy the training I get. And by so doing, they tell other people. So we walk 90 show for we. I'm confident of that.
Sounds like it. Now, you talked earlier on, thank you so much, Hanan. You talked earlier on about Afro-American being open to both men and women. And I'm keen to understand what type of services, which you've kind of touched. I just want you to elaborate on it. Services you offer to those groups of people, men and women. What type of services you offer?
So every service that we offer to men, we offer to women in terms of training. So we have barbering courses that we've done our syllabus for and we're ready to run. What you need to understand is that even in the UK, when you put out a course, you run the course based on demand. If the demand is high, we run the course. So in terms of what we can offer for courses for men, we already have a syllabus and we're already advertising our courses. As the demand is met, we'll run our courses. So men in the hairdressing field are doing better than women. Men in makeup are doing better than women. I mean, the world has changed. Yeah, we have men, makeup artists that are very, very good. So the sky is the limit. Please, if you have the skill and if you have the passion, rather, please come and see us. Let's do some training.
I'm keen to sit underneath a man to make me up. I don't want to be made.
You will be surprised. I'm telling you. And men understand women's face and moods and emotions.
Yeah. I think I bumped into one back in 2018 when I was in Sierra Leone, down in Lumley Beach. There's a gentleman that owns a dressing salon, and
that's right.
He had queues of women queuing, and even though
he's still there,
people wanted him. The girls, the ladies were there because they wanted him. It's interesting, isn't it? Now let's
Yeah,
let,
and
let's
he's one of the salons that we work with,
Oh
actually.
wow, well done.
Yeah,
What is that like?
yeah,
Does he provide apprenticeship? Do you send your
that's
students
right.
there? Okay.
That's right. Yeah,
In,
for
in,
training. That's right.
wow, wow, wow. It's I want to talk to you about something you talked about. You talked about the hair and understanding hair, understanding join as what you're offering in terms of part of the training and the skills, core skills. There's always, I've heard it, I've listened to it, you walk up and down where you talk. What is the difference between what you call a human hair and a synthetic hair? Because I am absolutely innocent to this. I wouldn't be able to tell you a plastic from a nylon bag. You know what I mean? For me, you know, what's the difference with when people say, oh, human hair will cost me 700 pound, synthetic will cost me half of that price. Now I turn around and look at myself. I said, okay, you know what? I've wasted a lot of hair because if I go to the barber shop, then I carry a bag go, then I they get at me here because I need my barber not to mix my hair with other people. I could be auctioning my hair. It might take a little bit long because I don't have much coming up there. But just tell us what's the difference with the difference between a synthetic and a human hair.
Well, for a start, there's no limit how much you can charge for real human hair. That is a person's hair. There are some cultures like in the Indians, the Asians, Brazilians, the whites, like the Russian. These women grow their hair because they have growing hair, and literally they would sell it off. Now, what you would pay for that would be a lot of money. You can have that made into a wig or put onto a weft, and you can use that. So human hair basically is real hair that you can do anything to. You know, you can style, you can color, you can do all of those things. That's what real hair is, and that's why they're so expensive. Especially the longer you go, the more expensive they are. Synthetic hair, they are mimic, they are man-made fiber. They've made them, it's an alternative to human hair. Having said that, there's a lot of things that you can do with synthetic hair that would make it more cost effective or equally as cost effective. So those are the two different types of hair. Obviously, within that, we have straight, we have wavy, we have curly, you know, and now that a lot of people are wearing wigs, human hair wigs, you know, are very expensive, and but equally synthetic wigs are just as good. So there's a budget depending on what you can afford. There is a budget.
Mm. So interesting.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. I'm also thinking, you know, there's one thing which is always been challenging for us as people of black and minority ethnic groups in terms of the getting the right application of hair, what do you call it? Cream, so to speak, the things that you go on your head. Because sometimes you see my sister will go to the hairdressing salon and come out there 2 days later, I don't bald.
Yeah.
Now and then we'll
Um,
turn around and then we'll cry their way all the way to the hairdresser, say, you don't pull me, yeah, like literally. And or somebody, you know, there was a very famous American celebrity that went to have his hair cut. You know, I mean, just the barber. I don't know what happened, whether it was the shares, whether it was the preview, whether it was the cosmetic that was sprayed onto the shares before it went, and the damages his head, and nearly he developed some serious sepsis as well as a result of that, because there was just a little minor prick on the head. And how do you, because these are real litigation issues that can come back to you as a country director or your organization. How do you train your people to understand chemicals, first of all, basically?
So, for example, with the chemical
Yeah.
units, there are health and safety that runs within them. Now, I'm going to say this, and I really do not mean any disrespect. A lot of people think it's a joke. A lot of people think that, hey, na relaxer, you go buy the box, you can't, you open the aid, you put on there. I mean, I hear people talking about shampoo. Well, you don't put the cream, you just they take any shampoo you wash. We don't do that. And I would never adhere to that. It is a chemical, it burns the scalp, it will cause damage, permanent damage. So at Afromeric, we do take a relaxing system very, very seriously. And I personally supervise that unit, and my students know how I feel about that. So we go through all of the precautions, How do you test hair? How do you know what cream to put on the hair? How do you know that this cream is good for the hair? There are ways of testing the hair. If you want to take the time to do it properly, there are process and procedures in place that must be adhered to so that we would prevent that. Having said that, I just also want to use this opportunity to say natural hair is beautiful. I don't want it to seem like all we do is chemically treated hair. And at Afromeric, we have our branch in Godrich that specialize, I would use the word specialize in natural hair, because we do 90% of clients that we do there have natural hair. So we teach you how to look after your natural hair so you don't have to put chemical on it. We color your hair for you. We twist your hair. We do natural styles, and we do a lot of treatments as well. We really need to educate people to understand how to look after hair. Though we do wigs and all of the other hairstyles, we teach you. It's very important to teach someone how to look after their hair based on their hair type, because relaxer is damaging to the hair. Chemical damages the hair. And we've seen a lot of burns in the Black community, a lot of alopecia, a lot of people, and they relax their hair today, tomorrow they go planter. Why? You've already overstretched the hair. The cuticle is flat. It cannot take anymore. It's weak. Then you go begin plant, you go begin twist. You say, awale last, awale tight. It's all just bad education. It's all wrong information.
Yeah.
It's all wrong information. Yeah.
It's like literally, I know somebody that just did exactly what you've just said, but I'm not going to name names because I want to be able to eat my food the next day. But I know people. But anyway, but like literally, this is something where we lack the knowledge in terms of understanding, and especially for people of Afro-Caribbean descendants. And I was so fascinated when you talked about air types. How do you tell somebody what hair type they've got? Like somebody, it's only just about a year or two ago I found out my blood type. I didn't even know my blood type. You understand? How would you go if I go into I turn up in there and then I thought, okay, one of the barbers that's been cutting my hair for the last 3 months is not been doing me any justice, and I wanted to go into Afro-America, and I tried. How would they be able to advise me just by texturizing or having a feel of my hair? How do you educate the customer first of all before your student on to know the hair type?
Consultation. A lot of hairdressers don't do consultation because we're always doing customers. It's like, oh, my customer don't come or sit down. What you want to do today? You want to jump on them? No. Consultation. It's actually one of the things that we teach in our diploma course. Consulting, conversation. Let me ask you, you tell me. Let me and you agree. Let me explain to you why you cannot have this service done today. Let me explain to you why you have to come back in 2 weeks' time, because right now you need to have a treatment. Let me explain to you what it is that you need for your hair.
Can I just
for your
interject?
hair
Somebody
to
might
grow.
just look at it as this is an added cost. Wait, but excuse me, ma. If I go down the road down there, I can get my hair done straight away. Why? If you can't tell me, say can't today, and then come back 2 weeks later, and like literally, sorry to interject, but you know exactly what I'm feeling. The average person will not have the appetite to sit down and have an hour with you just to discuss their head. And then just because they get for go Friday nights, they get for go down the road, you know what I mean, to go clubbing with the girls or the boys.
That's why we have all these damaged hairs and scalp.
I see.
Now, my clients, the people who know me, and I would tell you that I have a very good reputation in this industry, will tell you I do consultation, and I will tell you, and my clients know, we cannot do this because, and I would explain it to you. However, if you choose to have it, I too can choose to say, I will not be performing that service for you. You can go elsewhere. It's fine. It's your reputation. I'm building a legacy. And I have done. So as a hairdresser, I always tell my students, you choose the clientele that you want to work with. You choose what it is that you want from this job. It's a job that you have to have a passion for because it's fulfilling. You understand? You know they do it for money no more. The money is good, but you know they do it for money. If you're not a hairdresser, Now money no more you want to make. Then go sue you, tell you the gains. You see what I mean?
I
You
hear
don't
that.
do it for the money. You do it for your own satisfaction, and you're imparting. You're telling people how to look after their hair. A woman's hair is her crown. It's very important that we know, we educate people, women, how to look, and men, how to look after their hair, their skin. It's very important. You do a
It's interesting.
consultation, you'll never have a problem.
It's interesting. It's interesting. Thank you for that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to open up. If for all of our viewers that are watching us now, if you've got any question for Hanan, please feel free. The number to call. Let me just bring the number up on the screen to call. If you want to call Hanan, and you can call on the number again is 07951 That's 07951 You can call the studio live and ask Hanan any questions on hair and beauty for the next 10 minutes while we've still got Hanan on the screen. It's already scrolling there, but I'll just put it again. It's 07951 881. I would prefer if the viewers that wish to call would call via WhatsApp, please, because it's easier for us to get the line connected and your questions. Or alternatively, you can ask a question on the chat box, and we'll feed your question through to Hanan. Yes, thank you so much for giving us your time. Let's move on now. I want to talk to you about, you talked about the industry. I didn't even know that we had industry until when you became the country director, and well done and congratulations as well for that. I had no idea that Sierra Leone had an established industry that's been there. So it goes to show that already you've made an effect, because now in the diaspora, maybe let's say other people knew about it, or maybe it was recognized in outside of the UK, maybe in America or other parts of the world. But I never knew, and I can challenge other Sierra Leoneans that actually knew about Afromake. I'm not saying there were failings there, but it just shows that the impact already that you as a country director is bringing in terms of profiling Afromake to the diasporans. It's really, really working. So well done on that.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I also want to say, if somebody has their loved one in Sierra Leone, they want to get them like to sponsor. There's a lot of diasporans that taking to responsibility in terms of educating their loved ones back, because how can they go about it, and is this a possibility?
Absolutely. I mean, since we started this new co-host in September, I've had a lot of inquiries from the United Kingdom and from America. We have enrolled students whose family members are in the diaspora, and they're paying for their fees. We can accept different form of payment. Just get in touch with us. We're on Facebook. We're on social media. You can send the student to the school. We are based at 27 Garrison Street. So just outside Victoria Park, that's where Afromeric is. Or you can go to our Godrich branch as well. And just come in and have a chat with us, and we'll give you all the details, and then we'll take it from there. Definitely that works. Definitely.
So we didn't talk about the big one, the finance, because when you go to school, man, I pay your school fee. So obviously it pays to be educated. And if you're going, if Afromeric is there now offering this high quality of service, obviously it comes with a cost. And what's the annual registration fee, so to speak, or do you take a 3-year package, or is it a 2-year package before they graduate?
So it's a 1-year package. So our 1-year diploma course that I spoke about, which includes makeup, it includes literacy, is 6.5 million thereabout. I want to tell you what you get for that money.
I was going to challenge you on that. Well, say, what am I going to get for 6.5 million?
Yeah. So what you get is what I'm going to tell you. You get the courses that I've said embedded. It's a 1-year program. You get a work experience. You get your uniform. You get your registration form. You get a kit. As a hairdresser or a beautician or a nail artist, you need to have a kit. You know, the doctor know they go perform surgery where you not get what you need for go perform surgery, not so
True.
so. So we'll give you a training head, we give you comb, we give you scissors, we give you blow dryer, we give you uniform. All we need is two things from you: passion and dedication. That's all we need. So
And
you get a lot for your
every
money.
student get to pass.
No, not every student gets the pass. You got to do the work. Not
Okay.
every, you got to do the work. Until you do the work, you will not pass.
Because if I've
Nothing say
sponsored
because you
my loved
no.
one and I'm expecting 6.5 million inside 1 year, that's a significant amount. That can pay for somebody's 1 bedroom flat. You know what I mean? For a whole year rent. You know what I mean? So I expect a Lego pass at the end of after the 12 months training session.
Yes. Well, the aim is that all of the students will graduate, because that is a learning goal. Our goals are very smart. Yeah, we have very smart goals, which means that it's set to the ability of the learner. There's no reason why you shouldn't pass. But to just throw it in there for say you go pass, don't assume that because you paid that money you're gonna pass. We expect you to do the work. That's what we want. We want you to do the work. So however long it takes you to do the work, you'll have to do the work. That's why we want students who are passionate, students who want to do. And I just want to say very quickly, that amount of money for what you're getting, you cannot compare. And actually, if you really train and you train well, okay, you start doing your own side hustle, you start having your own little clientele, you start building up a clientele, you would make that money in a month.
Okay.
So you're only investing in a bigger future. And we need to learn and understand that we need to invest in education. We have to. Good quality education. We have to.
I'm going to pick up something. I like because sometimes I pick clues from when my guest speaks. You just said something about doing your own little side bits. Are you not concerned if you have a student and obviously work experience is there and then part-time job is there, but are you not concerned if you have a student and then they taking on job and then they go say, sir, I didn't have Omeric school, and then you know what I mean, what about the credibility, especially if that student is not one of those who you think can cut it out, to use the pun deliberately?
Well, when I say that you can have another stream of income, it means that as you get stronger, as you get more competent, you're able to perform those services better. Okay. It is a kinesthetic subject. Now, what you did do, now you did sabi for do, now you did learn for do. The more you do, the better you become. Now, no one is going to allow you to sit down and start cutting their hair when you don't know how to cut. You wouldn't want to do that, right? Because you're not sabi for do. But by all means, once you know what you're doing, once you don't learn how to do something, you're competent, you don't pass your exam at school, we don't tell you, say, yes, this you sabi do. There's nothing stopping you from starting a little business with friends and family. Now, so you get to build your confidence. If na cake you dey bake, now so you dey begin as small, you go begin bake for your sister, your cousin, your auntie, then also so. Hairdressing is no different. It brings an income. It will give you a stream of income. It doesn't matter what field you're in. To be able, look at makeup, look at how much money. I mean, if I wanted to go and have my makeup done professionally, I'll have to pay in Freetown something like 300,000 to have my makeup done.
Seriously?
That's small money. I swear, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. 300,000. So if I have a ball to go to, I want to have my makeup done professionally. 250 to 300. Now they will charge me for doing makeup. That mean it takes an hour or less. So can you see how much money we're making? Wow. The student can charge 150,000 leons for make 1 week for you no more. Now one no more. Imagine if you're good at it. So there's money in the industry. So you got to put something in to get something back out.
So it's
a lot of money there.
It's a serious revenue industry. And
absolutely.
Do you think it's still, in terms of the professionalism of it, do you think it's still in its primary stage, or do you think with other diasporans, as I said, are going there offering monthly, 2 weekly, or with the likes of established platforms like Afomeric, do you think people are now beginning to cast their eyes and thinking, wow, we can develop this? Is the government recognizing it holistically, or is it just, oh, let them just get on with it? Because as you know, in the UK here, it's only about 2 years ago, just before the pandemic, that the government decided to pay a real candy eye on the barbers. You know, barbers, especially Afro-Caribbean barbers, were not really monitored, and vetting process was. But after the scenario which I talked to you about the case of the star that got this sepsis, basically in Sierra Leone, do you think the government is taking notice of it, and what are they doing to support platforms like yours?
Well, I would say that platform like mine are the ones that are recognized. I think platform like mine are the ones that are scrutinized, and I would say rightfully so, because we have nothing to hide. However, I think when it comes to customer care, I think that the issues that we face in Sierra Leone are the issues that we have in the UK, and they're the issues that we have in the States. What do I mean by that? Seemingly, a lot of industries, when it comes to the Afro-Caribbean side of the industry, it's neglected. When I started off in hairdressing in the UK, we had signed this petition. We don't talk to this person, we don't talk to that person, for regulate Black hairdressers. All Black hairdressers should be regulated, if not for nothing, just because they offer chemical service. Yeah, we've gone 3 decades. It still hasn't been done. However, in the UK, salons like mine, I've had about 4 who are professionally run, registered with the local authority. We always get a visit from health and safety, and I'm always baffled. What are you doing here? We can't check if when I get gloves, if when I get this. I said, sure, come. We check for all till we get all till. And I'm always saying, have you been to the shops down the road? You don't go to them bafade. So it's the same here. Afro-Mary gets inspected even today. We're fine. We have an open door policy for our students, their parents, the government. We have nothing to hide. Like I said, I myself am an internal verifier. So in terms of standard, we're running it as it's supposed to. Does that mean that the small buffer then they get the same treatment? Don't get me wrong. I have nothing against the smaller businesses. But just to answer your question, I had to give you an example that would make you actually see the bigger picture. It's the same problem in the UK that we have here.
Wow, I totally understood that. Well, I hope those people responsible can actually try to not necessarily even it up, but to try and, because the risk is the same or even more greater in the local non profiled hairdresser, because if you go and damage somebody's scalp there will be no accountability, because they can get away and say, just raise their hand up and say sorry. I've got a question from Josephine Mahoy. Josephine, I think missed the start of the program, and so she said, where in Freetown is your school base?
So we're at Garizin Street, so just outside Victoria Park, Natong, yeah? Okay. Just outside Victoria Park, Afro-Americ Institute is just there.
And opening times?
We're open at 8 a.m. and we close at 6 p.m.
So let's talk about social, because at the start of the program you said you've got a Facebook. Is that a Facebook account or Facebook page that they can go in and like, or are you also on other social media platforms such as Instagram, Twitter? Let's talk about those.
Yes, we are. So we are on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're not on Twitter, we're on Facebook and we're on Instagram. And I personally do a Facebook Live of some of our classes. There's a lot of social media presence with us, because what I'm trying to create is a presence where people see what we do on a daily basis. Because I think it's important that our work does, speaks for us, rather than us going out there and saying, this is what we do, this is what we do, because it's all about the longevity of what we do.
Yeah. So how beneficial has that been, the role of the use of social media towards Afro-America? And for yourself, as a country director?
We've had a lot of inquiries, like I said, from the UK, from the States, and from Canada. So that has done a lot for us in bringing in letting the people in the diaspora see what we do. In terms of in Freetown, I think it's a bit slow, or it's slower. And I think the reason is because technology here is slow. The internet access that we have, for example, in the UK, that we so take for granted, is so needed here. Ideally, we would want everything to be digitalized. We want our students to have access to, the usual standards.
Yes.
But it's not like that in Freetown. Like I said before, I'm not a painter for say everything is rosy, because it's not. There are a lot of challenges. Ideally, the internet, we need free internet as a training provider, because it's the future. We should be teaching using digital platforms, but there are a lot of restrictions. There's a lot of
Yeah.
challenges.
Fantastic. Keen to round up now, but I want to find out a little bit more about yourself. So what's the plan for Hanan, country director of Afomeric, and in terms of like your vision in the next 5 years, or is this something that you're looking at? So, okay, fine, I would lead on this and probably step up to the role of the CEO, or maybe just embark on something, a different challenge. What is the plan for you personally as Hanan, and then what's your plan as the country director for Afomeric as well?
Well, as the country director for Afomeric, I would hope, I want to stay with Afomeric. Like I said, I believe in partnership. I believe that the school has a good reputation. I feel that I can impact and we can build up on that. Yes, CEO, equal partner, whatever. The sky is the limit. How high can you go? I'm available, I'm willing, and it would happen. In terms of myself personally, I would like to be involved in education in Sierra Leone, because I feel like I have a lot of experience and I have the passion. And it's almost like I feel like the right people should be given the right jobs. I think that if the right people are given the right jobs, I think that we can build Sierra Leone. And I don't just speak for myself, I speak for everyone in the diaspora who is looking to come to Sierra Leone. I think that we should come, we should build Sierra Leone, because we have a lot of skills. And I'm not ashamed, or I'm not embarrassed, or I'm not timid to say that I can do the job, because I know I can, because I have the experience to. So I would like to have my hands, I would like to have impact in the education system in Sierra Leone, because I'm very passionate about the next generation, because after all, they're the future.
Thank you for that. I'm glad you mentioned that, because what I was going to ask you was that the fact that you obviously in the UK you taught hair and beauty at university levels and all of that stuff. Do you think hair and beauty can be incorporated into the Sierra Leone education system in terms of like the syllabus? And if that's possible, how can it be done?
We pick up the students in secondary school.
Okay.
Not just like the YWCA, even the convents and the FSSG. In the UK, the last 4 or 5 years, I was running a program where we was running diploma in hair and beauty. These were for the 14-year-olds who wanted to do hair and makeup. They didn't want to do anything else. That's what they wanted to do. So what we did is you catch them before they fall. So they're 14, we know that it's what they want to do. And what do? We started the training at college. So you can imagine, by the time they finish college, they're going to university to do a degree in hairdressing and in education. Can you see what's happened? By the time they're 21, we have educators. And bearing in mind that an education degree doesn't just limit you to a subject. It's just that the subject that you love, that you're passionate about, is what you use to embed those skills. Once you have an education degree, you can do anything as long as it's education. You can work in education. It's about teaching, learning, boundaries. Do you see what I mean? So it's very, very vast. So yeah, I think that for the student who wants to do vocational, I think that we can catch them before they fall. Keep them in school. We now know that we should be encouraging our children to do what they love. When you encourage someone to do what they love, you never go wrong.
It's interesting.
You know?
Yeah. It's
So,
interesting.
yeah.
It's interesting. Like that almost brought some big emotions, because I had one of my cousins that she's a big woman now, like around the same age as myself, and literally, and she was just not cut for school. But that girl, from when he did 8-year-old, maybe they plant them baby doll there. Now be send the bitter. All day they plant them baby doll, they hate them. Pra, pra. Seriously, this she anytime because like she repeatedly fail in school. But go, you know what I mean? Like blah, 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 and then all of that stuff. If you put them for plants, the same people that will be the beats there, be the beats, and then they come back and sit down that away, don't turn them 13, 14, because from planting them baby doll they ate there, it become expert. Then same until then will be the slapper. You too fool. Now them they come back and sit down on that for the planting aid. Could you imagine had she been caught before she fell, as you said? So that is very emotional that you said that. And really, I hope those who are responsible in some, but there is a lot of work there, and I think you said it, because you don't only need to catch them, but you also need to do education for their parents, because we need to identify the signs, because it's our responsibility to know my child and know the strength of my child. Not everybody is going to be ABCD literate and textbook literate, but creativity literacy is equally as important, and you need to identify those. And I think you're doing a fantastic job. There's been so many comments that is coming. Josephine said, please do not forget to share your link on Facebook, the Facebook name of the Afomeric. And also she added and said, you've done really, really well, sis. I'm proud of you. And Avril Williams said, big step, sis, and with a big thumbs up. And so quite a lot of engagement that's coming up on the Facebook. And I've got a text that came through from Tomosha, said we are watching it, family ties. So you can see there's a lot of people that are out there watching the program, and they are engaged with you tonight. And I want to use this opportunity to say massive thank you for actually giving us your time. We want you to carry on with the incredible work that you're doing in Afomeric. So hopefully, if I have the pluck, the courage, because I've ruled myself out till 2023 to go to Sierra. I'm not going through all of those ridiculous COVID, because my parents just went on Saturday, and my mom was explaining to me about all the challenges of all the, after completing, what do you call it, PCR test, lateral flow test, and then having to go through the whole cycle again. I don't have appetite for that. I want to go to Sierra, believe you me. But, you know, as a healthcare professional, I don't have the appetite to go through it all over again. And I really don't have the appetite. But hopefully, touch wood, I will be coming in, hopefully, like I said, in 2023, where Afro-America, I will be there to have my haircut. Maybe you might give me a growing hair, because my dream is to have dreadlocks. Just a short spikes, you know what I mean? I have dreamt of having dreadlocks for some reason. I don't know why, but I don't want to buy one in Brixton Market. So what words would you leave for the viewers, your students, your staff, your colleagues, and people in the diaspora? What words would you leave with them?
People in the diaspora, let's come home. Let's come and build Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone needs our expertise. Sierra Leone needs our skills. Let's collaborate with the people on the ground. Let's find our field, collaborate with people on the ground, work in partnership, and let's build. We have to come home to help build Sierra Leone. It is our mother's land. For my students and my staff, you know where my heart is. You know how I feel about the whole training program. You know why I'm here. Let's do this. We can. It's a winning team at Afomeric. And can I also say thank you very much for having me. I have enjoyed this interview. Thank you very much. Thank you. And God bless.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, people. We've had from the country director, Hanan Alami, for Afomeric. Listen, people, if you are in the diaspora, and you're out there and you feel like you want to support your nephew who is really not cutting it out in standard education, but has got a very good skill in hair cutting, or your niece or any relative, and I think you're thinking their creative skills, their mama don't call you or their papa don't call you, say, hey, me picking left for the plant here, and you want to give them that foundation. As I said, it's not just about cutting hair or doing hair. They're going to learn. They're also going to get the basic literacy, numeracy, skills, education there. So why not get in touch with Afomeric? And as she says, Garrison Street, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yes,
Garrison
it
Street,
is.
and
There is
send
a
them
sense.
down there to Garrison Street to do an inquiry. I'm sure a lot of us can part with 6 million, and then you monitor, because if you don't pay 6 million and they monitor you ridiculously for make sure say you go to class every day. So why not do that? And I want to say thank you to Hanan, to the rest of the Afro-American team as well, and also, thank you to everybody that engaged on the program tonight. Don't forget, tomorrow we've got Aisat Asise Jalo. She's going to talk about her work that the Health Show Partnership Program delivered in Ward 2 and at Connaught Hospital. So, and also we'll get some update from her about those who are the victims and those who are affected. So, I want to say thank you very much, everybody, for staying tuned. Don't forget, we're wishing DJ Ish a speedy recovery. 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, you did well, FUP. You will say, now that's they're gonna say me na Madinga Phoebe. But anyway, I want to say thank you to DJ Ish. You'll be back and as soon as possible, and wish you a speedy recovery. Don't forget, you can watch this program again on Facebook, and then it's also on YouTube, where any other comments, if you want to get in touch with Anna, you can contact myself or DJ Ish, and we're here to support you. Thank you. God bless. Stay blessed, and we'll see you soon. Thank you, Hanan. Goodbye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Time we see you, where you go, you come. You must